Okay, so today we're here to discuss um, how you've been kind of dealing with the loss of your sister. It's been almost 3 years now, and so I was wanting you to kind of share and kind of share with me how it's been impacting your mom and your sister.
Yeah, well, first of all, like the way my sister passed away, it was July 7th of 2016, is that right? Yeah, 3 years ago. And so, she was driving home from a birthday party, and it was later at night, and she got hit by a cement truck. And so it was only not a mile, it was only a block away from our house, because we lived with each other, we rented a house with each other. And so yeah, it's, me personally first, like how I dealt with it was, I was frankly really angry at God, and I didn't understand, like, how the person that would tell me that she would pray to God every morning, every night, that the Lord would protect, the family, that, I wasn't even praying every morning, every night that God would protect the family, and the one that died was the one that was praying to protect that the family would be protected. So it was very hard for me, but after a month of going through things with the Lord and just praying and like seeking the Bible, He gave me some answers, and it gave me peace. And then I had an experience with the Lord in prayer about 6 months after that really, I felt the Lord spoke to me, and He gave me even more closure. So, but the biggest challenge has been, well, of course, my sister, she was a twin, so she leaves behind her twin. And I believe that my sister is doing a really good job processing it. She still has her struggles. But the biggest challenge is my mom, because there was like a court hearing and everything, and unfortunately, the driver wasn't found. He was found not guilty from a criminal charge, and so that brought a lot of lack of closure for my mom and my sister, and it was very heavy. And that was last year of April. And so this time of the year, come up to degree years, and so it's a very big challenge of how to deal with the emotions that my mom goes through. And my sister, I think she's been processing very well. She's part of a Facebook group that's people who are twins that like have lost their twin. She's a group there, and so that's really helped her. But with my mom went with me to, it's called Grief Share at a church, and that was, I want to say about a year and a half ago, and it helped her, but she really hasn't continued to go to counseling. And so last year she shut down, like she would sleep for 2 or 3 days straight and get very depressed. And and one of the other things that was very hard too is like on last Mother's Day, she told everybody don't give her anything for Mother's Day, and so that kind of like bums me out, because like, hey, we're still alive on Earth, and she's still our mother, and so I want to honor her, and so she's still mourning, I guess, or dealing with that of losing being a mother to my sister. So yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out like how do I process, how am I going to deal with this again, and I hope that my mom would be able to, I know I can't imagine how it is to lose like your own child. I can't imagine that, but at the same time, I'd like to see her, at least have, somewhat of a healthy healing process instead of shutting down, every year like she does, or like special holidays like Mother's Day.
Are there any positive changes, or I should say positive events that may have occurred as of recent that might help with her, going through her healing process?
Hold on, yeah, I'm gonna get a drink of water. Yeah, well, yeah, well, you know, there is a positive. One thing is that um, I'm honored I'm blessed to be engaged and have a beautiful fiance, and we actually have a 7-month-old, and so that's her first grandson. She has a granddaughter, but the granddaughter is out in Texas, so she doesn't really get a chance to spend time with her. But with her grandson here, I know that that's really been a bright spot for her, and um, so yeah, I mean, I think that that definitely would be a big help for her. Trying to think, let me see, so that day on the 7th, it falls on a Sunday, so because she usually helps babysit, but obviously it's only during the week. So I think maybe an idea would be to bring him over on that day, you know, and let her spend time with him and the family, and you know, kind of distract her in a way, but in a good way, you know. I think that would be a good idea, a good positive idea. I think also maybe even presenting to her the idea of going back to grief share just for even one time, just to share and share with others who've lost loved ones, and to be able to allow her to be able to be prayed with because the counselor is a licensed counselor that runs a grief share at the church, and but they give a Christian perspective on things with the grief share program, and I think that might be another idea. I just don't want to see her shut down for 3 days again, you know, and be depressed and sleep all day and do nothing, because I know that's not healthy for her. And you know, and so for me, like, the emotions I deal with is frustration and hurt and helplessness and hopelessness, and I just, it's really frustrating to be able to see my mom go through that, and not be able to do anything, you know, as her son. You know, I'm her only son, and I'm the oldest child, and so, you know, I feel kind of like a responsibility, not that my sister died, but like just trying to bring a resolution for the situation. So,
Okay.
and then with my sister, you know, again, she's doing well. She goes through some, you know, times, you know what I mean, but I think that she's processing it a little bit easier and a little better. That's just easier. It's been really hard on my sister. That's her best friend, you know, they live with each other all their lives. But I think that because my sister has reached out, my sister has had one-on-one counseling for a year and a half. She recently ended that. That's helped her a lot. Again, with the Facebook group with other twins who lost a twin, that's helped her a lot. So, what would you recommend? You know, I have to admit it. Like, I tend to get frustrated, and I think I lash out to my mom in anger sometimes. Like, I'll just verbally, not tell her that she needs to get over it, but I just tell her, like, come on, Mom, like, you know, get up and do something, you know, like, don't sit there and sleep all day and be depressed.
Well, it is difficult for any parent that's lost a child prior, you know, early on in life. So her going to grief share is a good idea. And I would say not just for one session, maybe for about 2 or 3, just to give her a chance to go back in and just reopen up to others that are going through the same thing. Might not be them losing a child, but just them losing a family member in general.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe talk to her to see about getting some form of other counseling, to talk to another person, so she can share, because it sounds like she keeps herself busy, and it's been pushed to a place in her mind where as long as she's busy, it doesn't exist. But then when she's idle and she's not doing anything, then that when becomes at the forefront of the mind, and she becomes depressed and she just doesn't want to do anything. Still getting, including her in different things and bringing her out to different things, even if it is after a holiday. You have to give her that time. It can't be forced. For each person, their healing process is different. Their healing time is different.
Okay.
Her having a grandchild around is a good thing because it gives her a positive outlook in terms of life and just everything that's going on. And even changing the environment is a good thing to take place. But first, I would say start with the grief share. Get her going with that again and see how she does with it.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that.
Well, we only have about 2 minutes, and then we're going to close off the session. So is there anything else with this that you would like to share?
No, I mean, the way I deal with, my mourning is just, I just remember the good times of my sister, and so, I haven't done it in a while, but like usually what I'll do is I'll hike the last mountain that we did together as a memory. I was doing that the first kind of year, like around the 7th of each month, close to that time when she had passed away. But I haven't done that kind of hill in a while. So maybe that's what I'll do, close to like the 7th on my own, is just to hike that and remember our hike last time and how we had a good time and stuff like that. So, and I'm at peace. I know that she was a believer in Jesus, and I am too, and I know there'll be a reunion, so I look forward to that. But I believe I've been definitely, processing it and going through my healing. I think the most challenging thing, again, is just seeing my mom go through it. It's very painful to see that, so, but yeah, I feel it's probably about it, so.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else that you would like to share, then we're going to go ahead and close off, and
Okay.
I will see you next week.
All right, thank you so much.